bringing you a Total War Warhammer online ranked battle. Today I'll be playing as the Empire and my opponent will be playing as the Greenskins, and these are the mighty Reiksguard Knights. So long before the days of Total War Warhammer, I used to play a mod called Call of Warhammer for Medieval 2. I'm not sure if you guys have played it, but what I'm going to do is post in the description a link to the forum, which will give you information about it if you want to check it out. There used to be a pretty strong community involved in it. It was a sort of collaborative project that was developed over many years, and it has more units in and more content than this does at the moment. So obviously there are limitations. You know, it's on Medieval 2. The combat's a little bit slower, but if you want to, check it out, and if you're interested in seeing that kind of thing, it is so cool. It has all of the Empire Knightly Orders, all of the regiments of renown, all of the Dogs of War. It's such a super mod. I'll also put a link in the description to a video that I made 3 years ago, which was showcasing SKAVEN, who were set to be released around that time, and I managed to get my hands on the beta from the very kind people who are making it. So this build is exactly the kind of build that I would have played with back in the days of Call of Warhammer. We used to play Empire Campaign a lot, me and my friends, and this was pretty much exactly the kind of build we would bring. So we've got swordsmen in the centre, halberdiers on the side. It all has to be state troops because we would never get, really epic great swords or flagellants or anything like that. And Free Company militia at the front. They operate a little bit differently in this game compared to the mod. In the mod, they were just trash meat shield, and we always used to send them out and have a laugh at them absolutely getting wrecked. And the most important piece of the army, Reiksguard Knights. We always used to field Reiksguard Knights, and they did so much of the heavy lifting in our campaigns. Really just packing a punch. Such a great unit. Love them. So we're going to kick things off. My opponent's playing as the Greenskins. He's got a pretty hefty army. We've got Black Orcs, we've got Night Goblins, Savage Orcs, Boar Boy Biggins, a massive ranged sort of firing line of goblins, which is going to be a pain in the butt. So at the moment I'm just bringing my Reiksguard up over the hill to try and sort of spot what's going on. The cannon's going to start firing in a minute, and we're going to get some good damage off early. So this build is not easy to play with. There's no magic, it's all state troops, I've been having a bit of a mare playing with it, but I do enjoy it, and I really enjoy having the Reiksguard, because they were such bosses back in the game. I don't know if you know who Kurt Helborg the Reiksmarshal is, but he was the ultimate G in Call of Warhammer, and he was the leader of the Reiksguard, and he was just awesome. Him and Carl, such a pair of absolute bosses. There he is, look. Carl Franz with Gal Maraz. So, the battle's kicking off. I'm looking at an opportunity to charge into these juicy Orc squares, because I just think free damage. I mean, how satisfying would it be to watch Reiksguard hit into that? It would be very satisfying. So we'll speed things up a bit here. It's just a lot of screening. The cannon's missing. Which is okay, because I know it will make up for it. Cannons are a really good unit for the Empire. Super strong. So we've got Azag coming in here, biting some Reiksguard to bits, which is a bit of a nightmare, but we're going to pull out. Definitely want to pull out when you've got this coming in. The cannon's finally making contact, and we're doing some hefty damage to these Boar Boys. I like the build that this guy brought. It's not too far off the kind of builds you would have faced in the mod as well, which I really like. So these poor Reiksguard are doing a Lord of the Rings-esque moment, when they escape from the thingy and they're being chased by the Nazgul. They're running their asses off. Big dragon in the sky, not looking cool. Trying to do some kiting and dodging. These guys are going to pull out at the just at the point at which my Free Company can't start shooting at them. So we're going to get a charge off here into some Savage Orcs. Satisfying to watch because we knocked loads over, but absolute wet noodle spaghetti charge because it did like no damage and got loads of my boys caught up, but it was cool. So I'm sure all of these poor Empire State Troops are quaking in their boots. We've got the firing lines shooting off into the goblins who have revealed themselves. And the Reiksguard are pulling back, ready for the impending battle. Impending battle. They get caught by some goblin wolf riders. We've got fanatics going off. Watch out. Oh, classic. Love the Free Company getting mulched. It's just tradition. That is how we do. Big charge here into these Night Goblins. Trying to be sneaky little Night Goblins and sneak up the side. It's like, nah, mate. Get decisively destroyed in a matter of seconds. I love that in this game, some matchups it's just over, and then we're going to pull down and we're going to go for a big charge into these Black Orcs. which is going to do some good, okay damage. I mean, not that much, but, you know, great to get that in whilst we can. The Free Company are starting to realise that, well, I think these guys have already realised that things are going to be a bit rough for them over the next couple minutes. They're getting focused on by this horrible ranged sort of contingent. These boys have engaged here, and now the swordsmen are going to come in. We've got Fate of Buna going on some swordsmen, yes. That is a worthy use of Fate of Buna. The absolute wet noodle charge is coming in. Who are they losing decisively against? That is unbelievable. We're going to bring Karl Franz in to sort of bolster the boys. I mean, they're probably not going to last for that long. Whilst this is all going on... Oh, by the way, this formation, this defensive geometry with the halberds on the side, this is also a sort of like replica of how we used to play back in the day. So that's all, you know, all from before. So we'll kick the battle back off. We're getting some crossbow fire onto Azag, which is great because he's terrifying. The Reiksguard are taking to the field, and they're going to start mulching these little night goblins, which is awesome. But these guys are tough. I mean, they stick around for a long time. And he's also going to bring these boys in and some Black Orcs, which is going to cause me a bit of trouble. We're going to kind of try and get the sandwich in, but there's some squigs coming in, terrifyingly. We're going to get a charge, but because they're on skirmish mode, it kind of negates the charge damage a little bit, because otherwise they'd be stood still and take a hefty bash. The squig sandwich is not what we want right now. That's serious armor-piercing damage. The Reiksguard are going to fight bravely, but they're going to tank here and lose a lot of health. In fact, these guys are completely surrounded. We've got Azag on them, so it's a bit of a rough day for them. But whilst this is all kicking off, we've managed to rotate our one free Reiksguard around. Things in the front line are not looking good. Karl is getting battered by 1,000,000 Black Orcs with their giant axes, and even he can't take that. We're bringing in reserves. We need halberdiers to sort of strengthen the line because the state troops have been broken off. But now, one unit of Reiksguard are going to come, and they're going to see their Emperor in trouble, and they're going to respond with a mighty charge. This front line would have been lost 1,000,000 times over, but here we go. Huge damage. The halberds are going to come in and fix the hammer and anvil. We're losing slightly. Karl's managed to finally be pulled out because things were a bit bad for him up here. These boys are running down some goblins, but they've just, you know, I mean, that's pretty much GG up here. The amount of damage that they can put on is a real pain in the ass. Meanwhile, over here, we've got night goblins and savage orcs coming up against these halberdiers, and these halberdiers are so reminiscent of in the mod. In the mod, you could just set them up, and they would just stand and stab for ages, and if you didn't let their sides get compromised, they would do an amazing job for you. So, the Reiksguard have come in, they've done a big charge, they're going to pull out, and we're going to do it again. They also lost a fair amount of models. These Black Orcs are tough. Here we go, big charge coming in again. Oh, love that. And it's going to cause these normally very sort of solid Black Orcs to waver because they're just getting knocked about left, right and centre. Oh, meanwhile, by the way, I sent Karl round after he pulled out into that Goblin Big Boss and he beat him, which is awesome. Here I was having a bit of a predicament. I was like, do I want to charge these guys and get rid of them, or do I want to keep applying the pressure on the front line, which is desperately in need of help? These guys are just going to kite me away on skirmish mode like that, and you know, that's not something I'm interested in seeing, well, in dealing with. So here we go, another big charge. There's some goblins in the way getting knocked up. Boom! A hefty smash. Hopefully doing some big damage, and we've got this side to break. The Free Company are doing a great job of putting range pressure on Azag. The cannon's been firing this whole time. Oh, the squigs are coming in. Karl's going to get caught by a massive amount of squigs, which is not ideal for him. We're bringing in the halberdiers. Everyone's storming into their Emperor's side. Where'd my Reiksguard gone? Oh no, they're absolutely wrecked. That's such a shame. They're such a good unit, but they just get absolutely shafted because there's like so many different things, you know, like Boar Boy Biggins have anti-large, these have armor piercing, these guys are just super pain in the butt. So the squigs are losing up against my halberds. Azag's pulling out of the front line. He's come in and supported these guys. We've got some losing Black Orcs in the pits. We're going to slow this down and watch these brave Empire Halberdiers take on these horrendous hulking Black Orcs with their giant axes. And there we have a big rout, which is pretty insane. Carl's being chased by these squigs. I'm like, run! At this stage, I'm trying to... Excuse me. I'm trying to micro him so hard. It's stressing me out. He's going to manage to get through the spears, which is really good. And then Azag's going to land in the spears and miss him. It's all very stressful, but I think here... Yeah, here he does a Spirit Legion. I'm like, oh, okay, GG, so Carl's dead. So Carl's going to just, like, you know, saunter over there and die a very sort of lame death. However, these brave men of the Empire are going to have a mass surge. The halberdiers and the swordsmen, they're going to go head to head with these savage orcs and these Black Orcs, and they're going to push them back, and we're going to have an amazing sort of surge, you know, amazing second wind up the hill. In combat even, you would not want to be taking that guy's brave as well, I got time for that. You would not want to be taking the Black Orc axe to the face, would you? So Azag's had to back away. He's taking a fair amount of range damage. I mean, I could have brought handgunners. We used to have handgunners as well in the mod, but I didn't. Kind of regretting it now. Battle would be over a lot quicker if I did. But you know, we're just playing to have some fun. These are just a pain in the ass. I can't believe all my Reiksguard couldn't kill them. They're so annoying, and they keep disappearing as well. So at this stage, I'm doing some classic medieval tactics where the battle's going to take so long and be so grindy that I have to just surround and try and get the full 360, which is the only way to win in medieval if you want to speed your game up. So we're getting another floppy noodle charge into the back of these Black Orcs, which is going to break them, I think, hilariously. A Fate of Buna on my Free Company Militia, which seems like overkill. I'm almost honoured that my Free Company Militia are worth a Fate of Buna. The crossbows are shooting into the side of these guys, which is fantastic. The cannon also might be doing that at this stage, because I was sort of switching targets all the time. So look at this, Black Orcs running from Empire State troops. Have you ever seen the likes? They don't want their Emperor's death to be in vain. I'm sad all my Reiksguard are gone. I should have maybe saved one till the end, and then these boys would have just been... Once all of the other stuff was dealt with, you know, it would have been so much easier to wreak some havoc. Look at this, so brave. Go on, lads. For the Empire, for Sigmar, for Heldenhammer, and all of those other things that they seem very hyped about. Azag's going to do a warg, which is fair enough. These fanatics are just waste man fanatics. Here we go. Too many shrooms, and they're just not doing their job. Oh no, hang on, yes! Oh, that is good fun, that. So we're getting pressure on Azag here. He's starting to waver. His entire army is done. At this point, I was literally shouting at the screen like, come on boys! Come on boys for the Empire! Because we were finally pushing up the hill. But I sensed that there was some funny business going on. And there definitely was. So at this stage, we've got everyone running, you know. Essentially, victory is ours. And I was super stoked. I thought, oh, this is so good. Like, if I had only like a few Reiksguard left. And look, Azag's here as well. It's just... He's on his way out. The cannon's shooting him. It was so intense. I cannot believe that I didn't win here and there. Like, look at the wavering across the board. So all of these boys are going to be pushing out. I'm going to speed it up here because, spoiler alert, this guy is my least favourite type of Total War player. And what he's going to do is he's going to fly around with Azag on the sides and consolidate by killing one thing at a time. So fair enough, I could sense that was going to happen, so I started to pull everything back. These boys, two in the middle, they're going to get munched by Skull Muncher, who's going to munch their skulls. There we go. Wyverns are pretty cool, to be fair. Orcs are like my least played race. I should do some fun Orc builds soon. If anyone wants to see anything, just let me know and I'll do it. Like, let me know in the comments and I'll do it. Oh, and remember, this is all about Call of Warhammer, which you should all play or check out because it's super cool. So, like I said, I'm going to speed things up. He's just, you know, being a great guy, being a real champ. Managed to get rid of these guys. I think they come back in a second. They're real pain. Real pain. Rusty arrows. So, blah, 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 you know. You don't need your entire army to do that. I was messaging him saying, come on, come fight me. Let's have a nice resolution to this battle. I reformed the most haggard battle line of all time. These wounded state troops. There's the body of Carl. They're probably standing around it, doing stuff to it. Not, like, weird stuff. I don't know. I'm going to shut up about that now. So, like I said, he's just being, you know, being a bit of a pleb. I could say worse things, but there's no need, because I understand, you know, you want to win, whatever, play for time. So I'm warning him, saying, come on, come on, come on. And he's going to come down, which is going to be good. We're going to get a few cannon shots off in a second. That's going to be a laugh. Here we go. See, I know. Yeah, you know, that's always fun to watch, innit? Black Orcs just getting popped by cannonballs. And it's something really satisfying about it as well, because you know they're really high value in every cannonball. You're just like, yes, kill them all. So he's doing this, look, I've never even seen the likes. He's chasing off shattered units, so they're not even, like, there's no, like, banner for them. They're not coming back, and he's just eating them, which is cool. Good for him. And I wasn't sure what's going to happen here. I feel like, I was like, I do have some stuff. I didn't realise he had these guys as well, because they're both hidden. But I could just see this, and I was thinking, maybe these guys can really pull it out the bag, and win. These 4 tattered state troops with no leader. The cannon's got like 2 shots left. Shooting at Azag here, who's got like no HP. Keep missing. If only I had my Reiksguard, they'd be so good right now. Next time I should save them. Obviously, you know, there was no demigriff halberds in the mod, but there was so much stuff. Like, I know I've listed things that weren't in the mod, but I could list so many things that are in the mod that aren't in this game. There were so many amazing knightly orders. The Knights of the White Wolf were super cool. I think they were called the Black Guard of Moor. Those guys were insane. I loved all the knightly orders. Amazing. I can't wait until they get their shit sorted and add everything that needs to be added to this game, you know. All of the Dogs of War, all of the knightly orders, all of the Chaos Demons. That's who we need. But here we go. We're getting ready for the final charge. And then, oh, these guys appear, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. The crossbowmen are going to take some arrows. That guy's got an arrow in the knee. No. His mate's got one in the wrist. He's like, yeah, it's alright, I'm hard. The huge fate of Buna on my last crossbows alive. As you can tell, this guy is doing everything he can to win. And, you know, fair play. Fair play to him. And here we go, the final glorious charge of the boys. For Sigma! In melee. I mean, losing decisively, that's all I need to read, yep. You know, that was always going to happen. These guys are pretty much a saving grace, I think. They just add that morale debuff that I can't handle. I was trying to get the halberd sandwich, couldn't do it. But there's literally 20 seconds left of the battle. These guys get terrified by Skull Muncher, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to stop. Because you draw-kited me, I'll just run away. Not that I really care if I lose or win, you know. It's nice to upload battles sometimes where I don't win, and I might not have won that if he'd gone straight at me, who knows. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. You know, like I said, if there's anything you want to see or anything you appreciate that you want to see more of, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, peace out, guys. Until next time. Bye bye.